Hello Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to your Spring Equinox Greatest Concern reading. I'm going to be using a few decks in this reading. I'm going to pull an oracle card to see where you are on your timeline right now as far as starting off spring. And then we're going to do two cartomancy cards to point us in the direction of your greatest concern. And then a 5-card tarot spread for predictions of what in this situation, what could be coming up in the next 3 months. And then we're going to pull a wild offering oracle card for spiritual advice for you, what you need to release and let go of. So I hope you guys enjoy this reading. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If your sun sign does not address your greatest concern, check your Moon and Rising. They may, okay, this just kind of flipped over, and the way it did was awkward. So it doesn't happen that way usually, so I'm going to pull that for you. So some of you are making big steps, movement. You are ready to leave a situation behind. You're definitely moving forward. Could have been, for some of you, this could be an actual move. This could be travel for some of you. This could be advancement in your career. This could be advancement in a relationship or moving away from a relationship. But either way, it's a big step. So this is where you are currently on your map. You're making some big moves, some big changes, okay? I do feel like for some of you, definitely there's travel indicated here. Some of you are making travel plans. You're going to places you have not been before or have not been to for some time. You are being a catalyst for your own change. You are making changes that you feel like if you've been kind of ruminating for a while or resisting change, there's this sense of you rising up out of whatever and you know, taking that leap of faith forward. So for some of you, I feel like this is you taking your power to change your situation and feel as if you're progressing. So it's a space of progression that many of you Tauruses are coming into in the month of spring, and there's a determination about you with this movement and these changes that you want to make. I'm getting a healing energy kind of like around the situation for yourself. Like this is something of I feel like if you've been in a space where you've needed to heal, I do feel like you're in this recovery and kind of rebirth renewal energy, and you're ready now. Okay, there's no rushing. There was no rushing. This is like you've taken enough time, kind of resting on your laurels or allowing time to kind of do its thing. But now you feel like it's that time to get up and make those moves, make those steps to your life progression. So let's look into the tarot to see what your greatest concern is with this movement energy. Definitely moving forward and not backwards is a big concern for you guys. So, okay, interestingly enough here. Now, I feel like this is a concern that for some of you, you are, again, I get healing energy, reconciling the past. For some of you, I do feel like this is you rising up to a level that where you're meeting and communicating with others that match your vision of far as where you want to go. I feel like for some of you there's with this movement, and I got like kind of visiting places you haven't been in a while, and also new places, but I do get communication that some of you are going to be reuniting or reconnecting with individuals, and they could be friends, they could be past lovers, but again, I feel like it's now you're ready. Some time before, maybe it was like in the past, it was just like maybe a little too soon, but now you're ready to kind of make that step where you are healing. So for some of you, I feel like there's this concern that you are going to, even if it's moving into a new direction, meeting new people. For some of you, it is connecting with new people in a new environment. Will you be able to? That concern, I feel like and as well to finding, I won't say your tribe, but again, people where there's this reciprocity of feeling. Um, I'm also kind of seeing people from your past and really searching and seeing like the emotional connection still there. Um, I feel like for some of you may feel like you need that. I feel like some of you um, feel like you need to have that reassurance or connection, and it could be with someone in particular. So some of you may have your mind on love where you are ready finally to move on and find love. So especially if this movement card is meaning that, okay, you've healed, you're ready to make a big step towards your happiness, then this is your concern, is connecting with someone who shares that same feeling for you. Are you going to make that connection? Are you going to find that one that makes you feel as if you're not making these big moves and steps alone? You do kind of want someone. I feel like some of you have these travel dreams or goals and things, but you want someone by your side. And if you've been single and you've now found this new lease on life, you want to share that with someone. So for some of you, that is your concern. Your thought is on now, for some of you, there's a big step forward with a child, either having one or connecting with one, or actually moving with a child, or moving for a child's betterment. For some of you, it may be that. I don't get a lot of you for that, but I do get a little bit with this, but just with this card. Could be a young male child. If it's not you yourself making this step forward, could be a move that's indicated by a child coming into their own, but also kind of changes things for you in a way. So there's some type of new phase that if you're an older parent, that a younger child taking the step is also maybe even inspiring you to kind of make a move and take a step, or even kind of freeing up the space for you to find again what makes you happy, what brings you joy. If they've come to that point where they're able to move out on their own, or kind of live their own life, go on their own journey, there's this sense of you being in this place. Okay, so now what do I want to do? What do I want to focus on? What's going to make me happy? And for some of you, it looks like travel. So let's look at your tarot cards to see what could be coming up in the next 3 months as far as events, people, connections. Okay, so we do have the 7 of Cups. We have the Strength card. We have the 8 of Cups. A Mirror of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. We do have Malika Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. Okay. So there's definitely this energy, and it's kind of being reiterated here with following your own star, really leaving the past behind. Again, movement, where you are or where you've been, or even, you're ready to leave those things behind. You're ready to move forward. And as far as your options go, I do feel like for many of you, whatever you've had to release or let go of, or what you're ready to move on from, you definitely feel lighter, like as if you, some of you have many options, and you have many strong options, and for some of you, I do feel like you are coming from a place of strength and having endured a lot, so that you do have kind of a clear picture of where you're going, what you want. And I am getting definitely there being some communication. And for some of you who feel as if you're on a mission to make things right with the past in any way, I do feel like for many of you it will take strength, but the outcome will be beneficial for you. I do feel there is a connection in particular that some of you are going to make where you feel the love. Now, for someone may, now I feel like there's the sense of some of you, um, coming across someone or reconnecting with someone who shows you they love you, shows you they care for you. It may be difficult for them to express it, but there's something here where you may be able to kind of pierce through that veil, or you may be that one that pulls out the emotions for someone. So for some of you, there's some type of persistence that you may have, kind of not of winning someone over, or for some of you showing that you really have left the past behind. And the past behind as far as, you know, what made you happy or what used to fulfill you in the past, that could have been in a way conflicting with someone else. You know, if dating multiple people made you happy, that's not something that would make someone who has a greater love for you happy. So obviously that's something that you would have to have walked away from to feel like, okay, well, no, I do just want a really strong mutual connection and attraction as I'm going on this new journey. So now for some of you, even in that aspect where you're ready to kind of walk away from considering a bunch of options, because many of you, I do feel like it's something where you would have to temper your inner animal in that sense here, with the strength card showing up. And so I feel like for some of you, there is a connection kind of around you that is beautiful, mutual, in the sense of feeling soul connected. So there's like a soulmate kind of energy with this, where you're ready to make a big step forward. For, you know, in the past you may have been confused. There could have been, you know, again, a lot of options where you were not sure, but there's this sense of determination that's going to be coming for some of you in regards to one in particular person, where I do feel like there's this deep emotional kind of bond and connection that some of you are going to be having and making. Now, for some of you, going into a new space, new people, you're not worried about connecting with anyone from the past. I do feel like moving on from that. For some of you, there will be someone again who you may meet in your travels, but I feel like it may start off as kind of just a conversation that has nothing to do with dating, but then it kind of turns into that. So for some of you, it could be with work or career, could be what you're walking away from is going to be leading you to kind of a fated meeting with someone in particular. So behind, I feel like there's going to be some flirting that happens in a travel situation that leads to some type of love relationship that could be coming up for some of you. Okay, so I do feel like for some of you, there's the sense of urgency towards one particular person, because they've been kind of showing up in your dreams, and you this is almost convinced you, kind of kept it in your mind, like really have you focused on this one particular person. So Malika Cups, this is the Queen of Cups. This is someone who it could be a water sign, but not necessarily. This could be or they could have strong prominent water in their chart, but someone that you feel that you have a deep connection with, someone who's very nurturing, someone who also has a lot of self-love for him or herself. They take care of themselves. And they're very open when it comes to you, but but not always. I feel like for some of you, it's like there's a lot of kind of communication that has to happen between you before they're opening up. Like there's someone who's, but it's there. It's almost like you can feel it. Like, you know, it's underneath the surface, regardless of what this person's saying, or like what kind of maybe front they're trying to put up, or what have you here. There are some deeper feelings, but it's just going to take, I feel like for some of you, you need to work on your communication. That's a big key here, as far as like either connecting or reconnecting. Like you have to, there's going to need to be a lot of getting on the same page as far as understanding in your communication styles and how you're relating to each other. It's almost just like this person has to know you, or you have to know them, to know that what they say is not necessarily meant to hurt. Like for someone, I feel like this is a relationship where you have a chance to be honest with each other, especially if it's a relationship in the past where there was dishonesty, or there were illusions, or there were, you know, options, and you know, I feel like for some of you, come out of that situation or that cloud of confusion with a bit more clarity about what it is that you want. But again, it's like with the Strength card, I'm getting a sense that there's a need to be strong in, as well too. Okay, so for some of you, there's someone who's really going to let you know what it is that they desire from you. I get a sense that they're going to be very straightforward, like not sugarcoating. In some ways, I feel like there's, and for, again, I feel like this is a person that usually does not share or open up about their feelings, but in this case, it's going to be necessary. So there's going to be a very kind of frank conversation, and it's going to take a lot of strength. And for some of you, you're going to have to do, you know, draw on some strength to communicate, you know, straight from your head what it is that you want, because that's going to be required for this person. This person's not ready. She's okay. So I'm getting a sense for someone is like, you know, they're very intuitive. So they're going to be able to kind of read through your, like, read between the lines of what it is that you're saying. They're very intuitive. We have a Seven of Cups here with the Malika Cups. So Scorpio energy is coming up strong. They could have either Venus or Mercury in Scorpio. That gives them that really kind of sharp intuition into what it is you're really trying to say, if you're not talking straight. So again, this communication kind of card coming in too, with really connecting. I feel like for some of you it is going to take work, but I feel like it's worth it, because it's, again, you're kind of walking away from a way that you used to be. You're ready to walk into a greater, like more meaningful, either situation or relationship, even in your way of relating to others, even in a new space. You're ready to kind of, you know, pull the mask off in a sense, or stop with the, you know, but again, some of you, this is options. You have your options, but there is one strong bond here that is testing your strength. But I do feel like for some of you, you do see that there's more to a connection that there was in the past, or there's more to connect to a connection that's going to be meeting your eye coming up in the next 3 months. Now, I also get a sense too that some of you are going to connect, but there's some distance between you. And so for that, I feel like trust and communication is something that's going to have to be worked on or reestablished in order to kind of deal with what could be a distance. So for some of you, I feel like there will be a connection made, but then there will be a sense of you needing to separate, but not without establishing some type of bond. So there will be the, like, really deep conversations, deep talks, and an emotional connection that is going to happen. And what you do with that, you know, it's really up to you. Like, again, with this movement, you're ready to make some big steps, some big strides forward. And so the only thing I just see as far as a potential, I don't want to say pitfall. It's not really a pitfall. I just feel like, again, it's like it happens quickly, but then there's this movement that needs to continue. And for some of you, the bond that you create just may be strong enough to withstand any physical separation. So that's where I'm kind of seeing that too. That there will be at least one meaningful connection that does happen within the next 3 months. And communicating what you want. Let's see here. I'm going to start shuffling these. And this is the Wild Offering Oracle deck. I'm going to shuffle one for advice and see what else I could be getting here. For your and if you're traveling for business, I do feel like there will be a mixture of pleasure again. It's kind of, again, I feel like repeating things. But I do feel like, too, for those of you maybe wanting a travel companion, I do feel like there's someone that will just be happy for that. And pay attention to your dreams, because I do feel like Spirit is kind of alerting you to someone in particular, especially if you're thinking about them often. So those of you, there's no one, there's someone, again, who's like, you meet them, they're going to kind of stick in your head, but they're going to also kind of be kind of like an assister to help, assisting you to help you with this movement forward. You almost like it's confirmation for you. Someone who's going in the same direction as you, as far as leaving the past behind. Okay, let's see what we have for your advice card. Health. Allow me, Divine, to be tender and accepting of my body no matter what ailments I have. May I always know it's doing the best that it can. Help me be a loving ally and friend to this sacred form. I didn't get any Pentacle cards here, but I'm not even getting to this person. You see it in the night is kind of having their face covered. Obviously, with what we're dealing with in the world right now, I would say that for many of you, of course, take precautions and take care of yourself. That just may be something that is, again, this is divine message for you in regards to the situation as you're making steps, as you're changing locations or you're traveling to different places. Definitely keep in mind that your health is important, and just take care of yourself. Continue to take care of yourself. And be wise and mindful as well of, protect yourself in all ways. Always, as far as too, some of you, if there is not one particular person, some of you, if you have your mind on just connecting with whoever, and even if there's multiple people that you are connecting with, you have your options. Be sure to protect yourself. Be sure to protect yourself, because you just never know what's out there. Just keep that in mind too. For any of you who are, finding yourself single and ready to kind of get out there again, if there's not one particular person, you're going to be seeing multiple people. Definitely keep in mind your health, because not all people are healthy, and as well too, kind of like asking the right questions and getting to the bottom of something. Again, I kind of got with the Queen of Cups and the Emir of Swords. Again, there's this communication of someone like wanting to tell you something but not being totally forthcoming, and you kind of needing to pull it out of them in regards to that. But yeah, that's the message that I have for you, Tauruses. Again, if this did not cover your greatest concern, check your moon and your rising. There could be a message in there for you. Even if it did resonate for you, those other signs could have some other concerns that are addressed. So I do hope you appreciated this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.